Hello, hello. So today's project is going to be this fun top window with the post. I think of it when you go into a big Christmas festival and they have the big signs for you to enter. Well, this is my front door and I had this cute gingerbread man. So when we move forward with the video, I'll show you what it was like by himself, and then I will show you what it was like when it's finished. And I just needed to dress it up because I thought, well, he looks so boring by himself. I know a lot of you are going to be asking me where I got him. Isn't he cute? Frankfurt Fest, every year he is there and he sells them for every single holiday. So the only thing I would suggest is maybe Googling Frankfurt Fest, Illinois and the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe they have the list of all of the vendors there, because they had Santa Claus, they had the Easter Bunny, they had St. Patrick's Day. The girlfriend that I went with, she bought 9 for all the different seasons because they're so cute, and she has more doors on her house that are visible than I do. So I got the gingerbread man and I had him on the door and I thought, well, he really needs something. And at first I did think of just doing the top window because this is that oval window that a lot of doors have. And I thought, well, that's going to be kind of boring. So those of you that guessed a wreath, I guess it's a wreath, but it's not because it has the candy cane post. So for under $5, you could make this. Even if you don't have the glass window, you could still make this and decorate your door. And if you don't, of course, you don't have the gingerbread man. Maybe you do. If you went to Frankfurt Fest, but you can do a gingerbread house out of poster board and foam board. They have the little pom-poms. They have all kinds of things that you can use to decorate your door, and then make this so that it looks like an entryway when you are walking into your own home. It's festive, it's fun. I didn't add any lights on it, but you most certainly can, and it's just hanging with one of those small pull tab hooks. It's so lightweight. So let's get started on this project, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so for this project, what you're going to need is a glue gun, scissors. You may want to do lights, and they do have these at Dollar Tree, or they have the little fairy lights, I believe they call them. I think they run out of 1 AA battery, and those are hanging from the tabs in the craft aisle. You might want to add some little embellishments. I really didn't, or you can add little berries and things like that. I got these picks at Joann Fabric. You're going to need a broom handle, and we're going to cut off I cut off where you screw it onto the mop or the broom. So you're going to need a hacksaw, and I'm sure some of you can come up with something, or maybe your husband has a table saw and he can quickly cut it off. I didn't want to do it that way on the table saw because I figured I wanted you guys to see that it can be cut manually, and that's how I did it, where I cut this little piece off. So what you're going to need is a small hula hoop. The bigger one might work because all we're doing is, I measured my window, and my half moon window is 22 inches across. So we're just going to cut this pole down to 22, and I am going to hot glue this. You can add a little bit of duct tape to make it secure, and of course all we're going to do is we're going to wrap our garland. So you have to get garland, and I got 5 of these from Dollar Tree. I want to double them up so they're nice and fluffy when we wrap our post. And then what you can do, like I did, is get a piece of poster board, because what you're going to do is you can add some wrapping paper to your backdrop of your window, unless you want to leave it open. So you're going to need wrapping paper, and I was lucky that I found the candy cane wrapping paper because I thought this was perfect for the side entryway post. And when you take off the wrapping paper, it's not an exact tube, but this is great because you can just twist it. You can make it any size you want. So if you want wider tubes, you can do that. And if you want smaller tubes, just twist it up into the size you get it. And then you're going to take one and you're going to cut these in half. So you need 3 altogether, because the door length is, you want it to at least go down most of the door. You don't want it all the way to the floor because, of course, it's going to drag when you open and close your door. So you're just going to cut it in half, and if you need to trim it up, most doors are the same size, but maybe an apartment size door, something is smaller. If you choose to do this, even though you don't have the half moon, you can still do it. It's still fun, regardless of what you do. So you're going to cut this in half, and then we're going to tape the one half to the other half, like this. And then we are going to take our wrapping paper and we're going to roll it out so that we get the full length of our tube. And that's going to give us our 2 side panels, okay? So once our 2 tubes are done, all I'm going to do is hot glue. I'm going to cut a tab here and fold it in, cut a tab here and fold it in, and then I'm going to take my post and I'm just going to glue this on to here and the other side. This is going to be so light. And then I got the little hangers from Dollar Tree. They're clear. They're the ones you pull almost, I forget the name of the ones where you just pull the little tab and it comes off without peeling the paint. But I think I might use a little heat gun just to make sure it's nice and soft and it doesn't peel the paint off the door. So that's what you need for this project. So let's get started. And don't forget, you need the poster board and of course your backdrop paper if you want. You could match it to this if you want. I just got lucky and found some gingerbread paper and I had already pulled it off my tubes so that you could see that you could just make your tubes whatever size you want. Okay, so let's get started on finishing this project. Okay, so now that we have our hula hoop cut, and it's basically cut in half, I think the other half was just a little bit smaller. So if you have 2 doors like this, that is perfect because you can use 1 hula hoop. And again, this was 22 inches. And what I'm going to do is I am going to go inside my hoop like this, and I'm going to hot glue it in here. So some of you might say, which I do get messages, why did you do it that way? Why didn't you do it this way? Because that's not the way I thought of it. So I always say, do it your way. Do what's comfortable. Do what makes you happy. Life is short. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hot glue this. Okay. And then I am going to wrap it with some tape just to make sure it's secure and it doesn't come loose from opening and closing the door. Okay, so we're going to put this on here. And my hot glue gun is super duper hot. So you do have to watch. Like in a lot of my videos, I tell everyone to make sure that they use the right temperature glue gun because they're not all made the same. Sometimes they're low or medium. You have to look at the package when you buy them. And I don't buy them from Dollar Tree anymore, so I don't know what temperature they are. So you just need to be careful with that. And if any of you did purchase this hot glue gun from me when I was selling them a few years ago, they do have the glue sticks now at Dollar Tree in the craft section. They work perfect. I buy them all the time. So you get, I think, 3 or 4 for $1. So I think that's a great thing. And this hot glue gun is super duper hot. Now, I can't find any duct tape, so I'm just using black electrical tape, and they do sell this at Dollar Tree as well. So we're just going to wrap this around. Okay, and it's just going to secure it more. That's all. I just wanted to make sure. Now, some of you might say, well, you could wrap it without hot gluing it. I'm just doing a double whammy to make sure that it doesn't come loose. And it's nice and secure. So you can see I didn't have to do much just to make sure that it was on here good. It's already secure. Okay. How easy was that? We're going to do this one real fast. And then we're going to start to wrap our garland. So I do like the black electrical tape. It worked really well. So if you can grab some of that, duct tape will probably work just as well, but because this has a nice stretch to it when you put it on, that's why I like to work with it. Okay. So let's just wrap this on. So that's super easy. And again, if some of you, I guess I just put the hot glue thinking that it might give me a little bit of play so that this would be easy to wrap on. So you could try. It was easy no matter what. Okay, so that's all finished. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start to wrap our garland. And again, as I said, I got 5 of these. I don't know if I'm going to use them all. And we're just going to start wrapping this around the frame. As I always tell you all, I'm not going to keep you while I'm wrapping this whole thing. So I just want to do it this way. Now, some of you might say, well, why didn't you just do it single and just keep going? Because I would rather it nice and full and get it done quicker than take it slow and be here forever. So that's entirely up to you again. And rather than do hot glue, I'm just going to tie a little knot here. Because what I'm going to do is eventually I'm going to want to push this up so that I could get my pole in here. So that's why I didn't want to hot glue it either. So now I'm going to bunch this up as much as I can. And we're just going to start putting this on here. Okay, because if I were to do this single, this would take a really long time and it wouldn't be as full. It would be kind of, see, so if I bunch it up as I'm going, it's nice and full, and this way it gets done quicker. So see, it's almost finished now. So I'm going to finish wrapping this up, and I will be right back. Okay, so that worked out perfect. I used 4 of them and I have 1 left. So when I add my little poles on the side, if I need to somehow cover up these corners, I still have 1 left. So this worked out absolutely perfect. So what we're going to work on now is we're going to do that backdrop that I talked about, and we're going to wrap our candy cane post. So let's get started on that. Okay, so as you saw in the pictures, all I did was trace the poster board of my original frame, and then I covered it with the paper. So I traced this, and then I put it on with tape, so it's just taped on. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to hot glue it to the back side here. So you don't have to do it that way if you don't want to. If you want to leave it open, it's entirely up to you. But I thought since I had that candy cane, and again, for those of you wondering where I got that, I got it at Frankfurt Fest here in Illinois. It's every year in the fall. I want to say late September, early October. I don't know much more about it. I tried to reach out to the guy through email. He never answered me, and I don't even know where the email is because it was back in September. So that's where I got those, and they do sell them for every season. So you might want to check the directory for Frankfurt Fest to see those designs, or you can even email the Chamber of Commerce. Maybe they can tell you. But they're really, really cute. So that's what you do here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to hot glue this onto the back with just a few pieces. I don't think we're going to need a lot of hot glue. And my gun is super duper hot, so I don't need a whole lot like some of you might. And you're going to need to hold it down so that it adheres to the garland. Okay, so here we are. How cute did that come out? I love it, love it, love it. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put on our post. Now, I don't know if you remember me saying I wanted to be able to slide this up and down here. So what I did was I cut this little outing here, so this can go between the post and the frame, and then I'm going to hot glue this on when I get to the door because these are really big and clumsy. So I just want to make sure that you know, put the seam at the back of the door so that you don't see it, and then make sure that you cut your clip, if you're going to do it this way, on the side so that it looks right, you know what I mean, because you don't want the seam showing on the front. So if this is the back side, this one's going to go here on this side, and then, oh, I just did what I told you not to do. Okay, so this one goes here, and now this one, we need to make sure that we cut it on this side, okay? So I'm going to put it on the door and take a picture. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I thought this was a lot of fun. It's lightweight, and all I'm going to do is use one of these. So I know that some of you might be thinking, well, that's kind of small. I do have the bigger ones, but I would rather like to try the smaller one. It's not real heavy, and I'm going to put a piece of ribbon on the back side with a little loop to hang it off of. So that's how I'm going to hang it as well, if you're wondering how to hang it. Or you can even take a piece of ribbon, because you do have room between the back side of this and here to put a little piece of ribbon and hang it on the door. So I will take a photo that you'll see next, but that's how we're going to do this, and I hope you had a lot of fun. You can dress up even a plain door. You don't necessarily have to have the window like I do. And again, the gingerbread man that's on my door was purchased at Frankfurt Fest in Illinois. It's in September at the end of each year, and the guy is there every single year, so you can check the directory to see if you'd like to buy something from him, but I'm not sure how to get in touch with him. Okay, so I hope you have fun, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye now.